Hello everyone, welcome back to Jikook Moments. Today, we are not here to speculate. We are here to observe patterns. Not about what we want to see, but about what continues to be shown, again and again, through careful framing, deliberate editing, and repeated atmosphere. Because when something appears once, it can be dismissed. When it appears twice, it invites curiosity. But when it appears consistently across seasons, under different tones yet carrying the same emotional weight, it stops being coincidence. It becomes visual language. Tonight, we are going to read that language honestly. Today, let's talk about Jimin and Jungkook's bed scenes, not as gossip, not as shock value, but as a series of recurring moments that are edited with restraint, yet impossible to strip of meaning. These scenes are not loud. They are not dramatic. And that is precisely why they matter. When a production builds the same atmosphere repeatedly, when intimacy is framed in similar spaces across different seasons, it is no longer accidental. It is a pattern, one that asks to be acknowledged, not exaggerated. In the first season of Are You Sure?, the moment Jungkook enters Jimin's room already feels different. There is no noisy group energy, no playful chaos, no sense of a quick visit. The rhythm slows immediately. The air becomes quieter, more contained, as if this scene exists in a space separate from the rest of the show. Jimin is lying on the bed, fully relaxed. His posture is open. His body language is soft. There is no stiffness, no guarded tension. This is his private space, and more importantly, it is a space he willingly allows Jungkook to enter. Jungkook's entrance is equally telling. He does not burst in. He does not hover awkwardly. His presence is gentle, half playful, half sweet, but grounded in intention. There is nothing exaggerated or performative about the way he moves. And this is where the editing begins to speak louder than dialogue ever could. The scene is filled with quick cuts and fragmented angles that feel disproportionate to its short runtime. Jungkook stands, then sits, then lies down beside Jimin, but the transitions are intentionally broken. The message is subtle, yet clear. More happen than what we are allowed to see. When a production trims away so much from an intimate interaction, it is rarely because nothing occurred, but because too much did. When Jungkook finally settles beside Jimin, the energy shifts again. This is no longer a brief stop-by. He stays. He adjusts. He makes himself comfortable. And Jimin does not just tolerate his presence, he responds to it. What many dismiss as just joking, physical play begins here. But the crossing of legs is not accidental. Jimin drapes his leg over Jungkook with a natural ease that comes only from touch that has long been familiar. There is no hesitation, no pause to seek permission, no moment of uncertainty. Everything flows as if this closeness has already been established elsewhere, beyond the camera. Jungkook does not pull away. He does not create distance. Instead, he becomes more engaged. His movements remain gentle, not dominant, not rough, not defensive. This is not a struggle for space. It is a reason to remain close. A reason to keep touching. There is suppressed laughter. Breathing that subtly changes rhythm. Movements that slow instead of escalating. And all of this unfolds on a bed. A space that is, by definition, intimate. Not a sofa. Not the floor. Not a shared public area. There is no third party interrupting. No urgency to leave. They remain there. What follows is perhaps the most revealing part of the entire scene, how they calm themselves afterward. Side by side. Bodies aligned. No stiffness. No awkward readjustment. No need to fill the space with words. This is a closeness rooted in trust and safety, something that cannot be shared with just anyone. Silence takes over. And this silence speaks louder than any scripted line ever could. The editing never tells us how long they stay that way, but the fragments shown are enough to understand that this is not fleeting. It lingers. Then comes the final gesture that leaves many viewers quietly stunned. Jungkook's soft pat on the lower part of Jimin's body. Natural. Almost unconscious. Not performed for the camera. Not meant to provoke a reaction. Gestures like that are not staged. They are born from habit, from a physical closeness that has already been normalized. And most importantly, there is no discomfort. Jimin does not tense. He does not flinch. He does not pull away. He accepts it with ease, as something expected rather than surprising. That response alone carries more truth than any denial ever could. When we look at the sequence as a whole, the entry, the bed, the physical play, the quiet alignment, and the closing gesture, it becomes clear that this is not an isolated moment. It is a dynamic, one that exists comfortably even in front of the camera. And when a similar intimacy appears again in the following season, once more centered on a bed, coincidence is no longer a reasonable explanation. Season 2 presents a scene with a much quieter tone. There is no obvious physical play, no laughter to soften the moment. What replaces it is something deeper, everyday intimacy, the kind that no longer needs performance. Jungkook approaches Jimin with his familiar playful energy, but it is softened, lowered, almost domestic. Jimin lies down with his phone in hand, body completely at ease. His shoulders remain relaxed. His posture stays open. His body does not react like someone whose space is being invaded, but like someone who feels safe. And the body is always honest before the mind. The room is dark. There is no emotional music cue. No dramatic editing to instruct the audience how to feel. The camera stays still, slightly distant, as if the production itself recognizes the boundary. Yet even in the darkness, intention remains visible. Jungkook does not hesitate. He does not freeze. He does not retreat. His movements are calm and measured, born from familiarity rather than impulse. He approaches like someone who already knows the space has been given to him. Even in silhouette, body language speaks. The way he positions himself, the way he pulls Jimin closer, there is no tension, no resistance. This is comfort. This is routine closeness. And once again, Jimin does not move away. He adjusts. He stays. Without a single word, everything has already been said. Because there are bonds that do not need labels to feel real. Are you sure never asks us to define anything? It never demands conclusions. It simply shows fragments, enough to understand, never enough to deny. The same setting, a similar rhythm, consistent body language, and a silence that feels full rather than empty. No declarations, no explanations. Just two people who stay, again and again, in the most honest space of all. Because some closeness does not need to be announced to be felt. And sometimes what speaks the clearest is precisely what is never spoken.